Hi, my dear students. I am once again welcoming you to the corporate administration classes. Here in this corporate administration classes, now we are discussing about the part 2 of the schedule 2. Part 2 of the schedule 2. What happens here? In this, we are discussing about the general information. So here also we are providing the general information. Here also we are providing the general information to the investors, shareholders, or any other external persons who are ready to invest the money. So we are issuing the prospectus. In this prospectus, what happening here? The first one we providing here the general information. In the general information, the first point here, consent of directors, consent of auditors, consent of advocates, consent of managers. Means consent is nothing but the acceptance of the directors, auditors, advocate, and manager. Here's why we are required the director's acceptance is nothing but it is very essential. Each and every decision taking authority, decision taking capability is in the hands of the directors. Directors is the held responsible for investors and shareholders money or fund. Therefore, we essentially required to get the acceptance of the directors. Auditors. What is the work of the auditor here? To verify each and every books of accounts if any mistakes or errors is taken place. So each and every errors, mistakes will be rectified and verified and examined by the auditor only. Therefore, auditor acceptance, auditor consent also is very essential. Therefore, we should contact the auditor as well as getting the acceptance from the auditor. Advocate is a person, he gives the legal assistance, legal guidance for us. So in this situation, we also necessary to know the legal rules and regulations, constitutional rules and regulations. So as well as if we are following the companies act rules and regulation, as well as we needed to follow the constitution rules and regulations. Therefore, we essentially required the advocate person. Advocate is commonly we called as a lawyer. So lawyer also is very essential. He gives the each and every legal guidelines, rules and regulations to follow in an organization. Therefore, so the prospectors, when we are issuing the prospectors, we also are getting the acceptance from the advocates also, as well as the managers. Managers also is very essential in each and every department. In the organization, there is a different types of departments: administrative department, manufacturing department, so marketing department, distribution department. Each and every department, they has the separate managers, they has the separate managers. Each and every department progress development is depending upon the manager's decision only. Therefore, when we are issuing the prospectus, it is also necessary to get the acceptance of the managers also. So therefore, in the first point they tells us, so each and every person's acceptance is essentially needed. After this, the second one here, expert opinion. Expert opinion to obtain, if any. Expert opinion also is very essential. Why? Because experts is knowing that each and every condition of the market. So each and every condition of the market, whether it is a fast moving consumer goods, or whether it is a stock exchange, whether it is a SEBI rules and regulation, each and every stock market. So each and every information is known by the experts only. Therefore, we needed to get the opinion of the expert when we are issuing the prospectus. After this, the third one here, reasons for change of directors. Reasons for change of directors, auditors in last 3 years, if any is nothing but what happens here, if any changes we are made in the auditors or directors, or we are recruiting the new auditor, or we are recruiting the new auditor, or recruiting the new directors. So it is very, very essential. This information also we should give. Why? Because this information is communicating to the each and every investor, shareholder. So if any changes is made, so changes information also guides the investors, so they are giving the each and every information for us. So in this situation, the investor creates, in the minds of the investors and the shareholders, it creates the brand image and increases the goodwill of the organization. They believed our organization. So this is the third point we are given in the general information of the part 2. After this, the next one here, the fourth one. What is the fourth one here? Authority and details of resolution passed for issue. Resolution is nothing but it is a circular or the notification. So if any circular or notification we are passing, or any meeting information we are given to the shareholders, it is very, very essential. Who is the authority in an organization? Who is the managing director? Who is the director? Who is the managers? Each and every dignitaries, authority persons, information, as well as the meetings details, as well as the notification details, each and every details we should give. After this, the next one here, procedure. Next one here, procedure. Procedure and time schedule for allotment. Procedure and as well as issue of the certificate. This is the very, very important point here. What happens here? So the procedure and time schedule. So each and every organization, if they are issuing the shares, if they are issuing the prospectus, each and every issue, or they are issuing any certificate, share certificate, share bonds. So each and every short term or the long term instrument, they has their own procedure, as well as the time schedule, when they are issuing, when they are collecting the call money, when they are allotting the shares, when they are getting the final payments. Each and every procedure we are clearly mentioned in the prospectus. After this, the next point here, names and address of the company secretary. Names and address of the company secretary, legal advisors, auditors, managers, etc. What happens here? Name and address of the company secretary. Why? Because each and every complaints, allegations, objections, if any, so they are very easily, who is the secretary, who is the legal advisor, who is the auditor, who is the manager. Each and every person is the very, very important in the role of the success of the organization. Therefore, we needed the name and address of the company secretary, as well as the legal advisor, as well as the auditor. So each and every person's details, the shareholders and the investors is required. Therefore, we also mention the name and address of each and every key managerial persons. After this, the second one, this is about the general information of the first one, and the next second one is the financial information. This is also very, very important here, financial information. Why? Because the financial position of the organization communicates to the investors whether the organization having the right position in the market, or the organization does not has the right position. If they getting the losses, each and every financial information is essentially required by the investors. Therefore, we clearly mention the financial information reports. If any we are preparing, if any reports, we also disclosing that reports also. So here the first point tells us a report by auditor of the company with respect to profit and loss account and assets and liabilities, the rate of dividend for each class of share. What happens here? What type of financial information we are given here? A report by auditor of the company with respect to what report he is preparing the auditor. Auditor preparing the financial information report, profit and loss information. They are preparing the statement of profit and loss or profit and loss account, as well as the balance sheet, as well as the how much dividend rate. Why? Because it is very, very essentially needed. Each and every shareholder, they questioning. So how much the dividend you are giving us? So in that situation, we clearly mention that each and every rates of the dividend, how much we are given to the shareholder. So this is about the financial information. After this, the next one is statutory information. The next one is statutory information. So here, statutory information, the first one is the minimum subscription. Statutory is nothing but legal. Statutory is nothing but legal. So legal information. So legal information also is very, very essential. Without legal information, we can't communicate, we can't give the information clearly. Therefore, it is also very, very essential in this minimum subscription. Minimum subscription is nothing but, so if it is a public company, they essentially getting a minimum subscription. Minimum subscription is nothing but, so the minimum, if 10 shares, minimum 10 shares will be sold before the incorporation. This is what we called as minimum subscription. So here minimum subscription is essentially needed. Without minimum subscription, the organization cannot form. So therefore, minimum subscription information also we should give. After this, the next one here, expense of issue of giving separately fee payable to advisors, registers to the issue of managers to the issue. Means if any expenses we incurred separately. Why? Because the advisor's fees is separate. We can't shown in the books of accounts. In that situation, it is very, very essentially required to disclose in the prospectus how you are allotting this money. So this is the expenses. After this, underwriting commission and brokerage. Underwriting commission and brokerage also is very, very essential information. How much brokerage and commission you are fixing in your organization? Means each and every organization commission and brokerage is essentially should know by the shareholders. After this,